And the terraces.
Yes. Yeah, because there are different components. For the tree planting, it's a different component. For the terracing, specifically for the terraces, it's 283
hectares. 283 hectares. Okay.
To be feasible, yeah, the terraces where they...
No, we shall go to where there is a terracing issue. But before then, let us get down the valley and we get the plain picture. Yes. Years ago, therefore they have already put some plantation.
They did.
Then we want somebody to talk either the village elder or the... Ya gari. But what's the difference between there and here? It's only that it looks the same. What's that? Tunasema huko sio? Ni katika hii part of this kijiji.
No, basta ni kijiji kingine la.
Pia una supervise ndio. Very good, very good. Hiyo ali innovators kama hii msichana mnahama na yeye. You can tell the people. Okay.
But anyway, hata nitetee pia Mvurya. Even in other areas.
Kule pia kulijengwa kuna shughuli nyingi sana na dispensary kule. Nilikuwa naona hakuna yuko.
The budget, the big budget of this as a bank.
Enda kwa stand sasa.
Then it is set on the ground, which gives you that shape. And then you have to put in the rocks, how the gabion works. So you'll find that as the sun deposits on the other side, vegetation grows on this side, thus also reducing the speed of... Okay now?
Okay, right?
Yeah.
That's what we said. We said the rocks have to be arranged very well, and this is going to control the speed.
So this grass here is coming up. If it were not for this one, there will be no grass here, there will be no grass here.
Okay, good. Haihitaji weeding, haihitaji kupalilia. Kama miwa, migomba, minazi.
Ndio unaweka hapa. Huko kwingine ni kwa mahindi huko juu.
Tunajaza hiyo nini yote.
Na hii?
Sura unaweka.
Hii mnakana hizo ndio. Ungeleta ile kubwa.
Ndio.
Hawezi vile iko.
We will allow you to continue. wish you the best of it.
Kama, hebu toka.
Jay, njoo kidogo.
Okay. Hiyo mtaendelea.
Naweza kushika
Mkiwa pamoja ni kama mnaonyeshana in inspection.
Alafu kiplani pia itakuwa poa kama sura zenye zimeone hivyo.
Sawa. Mbushi, sawa.
Kuya.
Umenotice ni health center. So tumepanda.
As you know, Mwache Multipurpose Dam is a project which was conceptualized by Coast Development Authority long before 1995. However, the actual implementation of the project started in 2015 through partnership funding of the World Bank and the government of Kenya. This project is implemented under the Kenya Water Security Climate Resilience Project. The Coast Development Authority, being among the partners which are implementing this project, was tasked to implement the catchment conservation of Mwache. And in catchment conservation activities, we are concentrating on 4 thematic areas. These thematic areas include: one is the tree plantation or reforestation of the already degraded Mwache catchment area. And as you see, what we did for the last 1 year, you can see that tree seedlings have already now grown up. They are just recovering from the season of the drought, and you have seen it is starting to leaf now. Therefore, this is a very good achievement that we have made. So far, we have placed close to over 250,000 seedlings were planted within the catchment areas. And that is one of the activities that was primarily our role within the implementation of the Mwache multipurpose dam. The other thematic area that we were supposed to undertake was the implementation of land use measures. And when I say land use, we were able to show or demonstrate the adoption of terracing, gabions and contours for the farmers which are living within the catchment areas, so that we can at least emphasize on the conservation of soil and make good use of the natural resources that we have here. The third activity that we also were tasked to undertake was to capacity build the community user group, and these are the water resource user associations. And in that process of capacity building, we were to develop with the community sub-catchment management plans. We were expecting within this region of Mwache catchment, we have close to 24 RUAs. These are water resource user associations. And up to now, we have capacity built and developed complete scams for 11 water resource user associations. The fourth thematic area that we are also concentrating in trying to achieve is a thematic area we are implementing jointly with our sister authority, and this is the Water Resource Authority, and that is the pegging and the marking of the Mwache drainage. And we were trying to do this so that we can conserve the riverline. And so far we have marked and pegged close to 73 kilometers of the riverine of Mwache. These are the 4 thematic areas that we are undertaking today. And as we see across, you will see where we have demonstrated terracing and contouring for farmers. You will see even terracing using stones. You can see gabions where we have used stones to conserve soil to mitigate against soil erosion. These are some of the things we are undertaking. Therefore, in today's activity, we had come here to see the performance of some of these activities we are doing with the communities of Mwache. And at this point, I will invite the project manager to give 1 or 2 statements. And we have already procured the contractor who is expected to move to the site probably by March next year. We are just trying to now address the issue of compensation for some few pubs, people who are going to be affected by the project. And that's also undertaken by another entity, the National Land Commission, who will identify the pubs and value their land and crops and adequately compensate the pubs. And from there, we are going to move to the construction site, and the contractor will possess the site from as early as March next year. Urban population in Kwale, Mombasa, and Kilifi definitely is growing. And in that growth of population, there is very good, big demand of water. And as such, the already water sources we are using in this settlement or big cities are not sufficient. And the purpose of the Mwache multipurpose dam was to adequately address limitations in terms of water supply to big towns like Mombasa, Kwale, and Kilifi. And we are planned to discharge 186,000 cubic meters of water per day for use in those cities. We will sufficiently have some more reserve in the dam, which we will definitely use for the purpose of food security. This includes fishing. It may also entail some farming activities, so that we also make the communities living around the dam area very food secure.
Then the other areas where we do is we intervene is for those areas which have highly degraded, like big valleys. We come in with gabions. We plant some trees, some certain type of grasses, so that they help in the healing of the gullies. The other aspects of the recatchment management activities include terracing. The other activities we undertake, we have poor farming methods or activities in the locals, so we try to educate them on better farming methods. This in mind is that we have very many tributaries or some small rivers, and even on the main rivers. The community to some areas do their farming up to the riverbanks. This we want to discourage by riparian marking, so that we give a certain distance from the river where no agricultural activities are undertaken. This will help in slowing down the washing of the topsoil into the rivers.
We are doing an aspect of marking and pegging, and we normally mark and peg within rivers, and the real idea for us to mark and peg is to ensure that the water that will be going to the multi-purpose dam that will be built will not be dirty. So we want to ensure our community, we want to ensure our rural members, so that they cannot be doing the activities near the rivers, so that the water, the water as it rains, all the soil will not be carried into the water, so that for us to get the water which will go to Mwache will be clean. So what we are seeing here on the ground, we are in Manzora Mienzeni catchment area, and we are moving down to the river to go and do an aspect of marking and pegging. Marking and pegging, it's one of the activities that we do in WRA, and it's in the Water Act 2016, and we normally mark and peg from minimum 6 meters as the river is. We look at the width of the river and we mark, that is the minimum, 6 meters is the minimum, and we normally look on how the river spreads, and we can mark to a maximum of 30 meters. So for us to mark and peg is to ensure that the community or the farmer does not cultivate near the river, so as to make the soil to be loose, in that when it rains, all the soil will be taken into the river. And our main aspect of doing that is to ensure that the water that will be going to the multi-purpose dam that will be built is clean and is good for our consumption. There's an aspect of the place where the dam is going to be built, there is compensation of the people who are living near the place, and they will be compensated and taken from those areas so that they can be taken to a safer place. In that when it floods, they are not they are not doing the cultivation, and they are not doing their development near where the dam will be built.
Kwa majina naitwa Juliet Care, na terasi hizo zimenisaidia kwa sababu shamba langu lilikuwa siwezi kulima lote, na hata naweza lima karibu eka 3, lakini mazao nayopata ni kama gunia moja tu. Lakini kwa sasa kama mwakani nililima eka 1 na nikapata gunia 3. Sasa upande wangu kwa terasi zimenisaidia sana, na shirika ambalo lilitusaidia ni shirika ambalo linaitwa CDA. Tulishikana na CDA, tuko na miaka karibu 3 hivi. Wanatusaidia sana. Hata tunaomba kama ni miradi ya kuzuia mmomonyoko wa udongo wazidi kutuletea, kwa sababu tunasaidia wengi. Tulianza na watu kidogo, lakini sasa ni kama kijiji chetu chote kimemaliza kuchimbiwa terasi.
Sasa kwa majina naitwa Nyawa Gurenyawa. Kutoka tuanze na shirika la CDA, hiyo mitaro imepotea, Hayo hiyo mavuno nilikuwa nikilima napata gunia 1.5. Nilikuwa naona kama naingiliwa na watu wangu huku. Lakini kumbe nilikuwa sijapata mazingira ya kunisaidia. Kisa sasa nilipopata shirika la CDA nilikuwa nikilima napata gunia 1.5. Sasa juzi nashukuru nimelima eka zangu 2 nikapata gunia zangu 4.5. Bado ninakula mpaka saa hii. Hata sasa pia na matarajio kwamba nitavuna tena. Na tukapata hiyo shirika la CDA likatusaidia na kupanda miti. Tunaona sasa area yetu imekuwa green kwa sababu ya CDA. Inatusaidia kila upande.
Mimi kwa majina naitwa Kamanza Mazera Nyamawi. Hapa wakati hakujapandwa miti kulikuwa ni kama kipara, lakini sasa hii tangu ipandwe hii miti unaiona sasa kumeshika vizuri sana. Kwa hivyo tukaambiwa faida hizo kwamba huo unazuia mmomonyoko wa udongo, ni dawa, pia unaweza kutengenezwa hata tembo na unatengenezwa hata makaa huo muti. Na sisi watu waliwendu tumekubaliana kabisa kupanda hiyo miti kwa sababu hata ukiangalia sehemu zile unaona wakulima wamepanda individual. Kuna ile pale, kuna mengine hapo chini, na kule ukiangalia hata kule kwenye ile minazi ile kuna mengine huko chini. Kwa hivyo tumerecommend hiyo tupate hiyo bambo na miti mengine.